Hi everyone, David here from daviddumaisaudio.com, and in this video I want to show you guys how you can create your own Bassy impact sound effects. As usual, if you haven't checked the description, make sure to check it out. I'll have a free little sound pack for you guys that you can get for absolutely free, so check that in the description. All right, let's get into our project. All right, so before we jump in and actually start creating the sound effects, I want to give you guys some examples of the kind of sounds we'll be creating. Okay, so here's just 5 examples, and you can tell they're quite a bit different, but they each have that really basic character, and they're really crunchy, and just, they really sound awesome. So, yeah, let's start from the beginning here. So the first thing I like to do is open up a reactor ensemble. This is Ultraloop by Twisted Tool, and it's a sequencer. So it'll play like 8 different sequences, and it'll choose based on what's selected here, based on the colors. It'll slice up the loops and choose only the selected slices, and then of course you can randomize everything. You can randomize the loops, the slices, the effects processing. Like, it's really awesome. You can, depending on how you use it, you can create some really cool glitchy sound effects, or you can just create some cool beats or whatever. But for this, we'll be creating really cool bassy sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by importing some organic, like just some sounds I recorded around my house. I actually already imported them, but let me show you what I'm talking about here. So these are just like, I just went around my house and hitting stuff basically. So here's some examples, and let's play through these. Right, so just stuff I found around my house. I was just kind of hitting it or dropping it on the ground, and that's pretty much it. So I processed them a little bit, I added some compression and make sure they were normalized, and then that's pretty much it. So then I imported those into Ultraloop here, so you can see they're already in here, and I have 58, so it goes up to 57. So what I'm going to do here for these samples here, I'm going to go from 0 to 57. And the way we're going to hear how this is actually working, you just have to press play on in your DAW, and then you should be hearing a sound. So I'm just going to press play and hear what we get. Okay, so nothing really interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase the speed a little bit. I'm going to increase the punch because I want them to be really punchy. And I'm going to select everything and then randomize everything. And also select play for everything. So if you just click up here, you'll see it'll play through all the different like presets you can have here. So let's listen to that. Okay, so that's okay. So I'm going to just fix up a few things just so we get more punch out of our sounds. So the first thing is going to be the attack. I want it to be all the way down because I want it to hit hard. Bring down the release will make the sounds a bit shorter. I don't want them too short though, so leave it at that. Filter, resonance, I can stay. The pan, if you want it really wide, you can play with that. I'm just going to put it like that. The start, I want it to start at the beginning of the sample because that's where the transients are. The length can stay the same. So let's hear that. Okay, so that sounds okay. Nothing too crazy here. I'm just going to add a couple of plugins and just process it a little bit and see what kind of sounds I can get out of this. So the first thing we're just going to add is sub. This is subsynth, and it's just going to add some bass to the sub. So I'm just adding subharmonics to around 56 to 80 hertz. So let's do that. So that sounds okay. I'm also going to add, I'm going to put snap heap here and see if I can add some transient shaper. So that sounds okay. What I'm going to do is also parallel process that with my pitch shifting down, and then do the same thing. I'm just going to copy this transient shaper over. So basically, we're getting 2 signals. One is just the first signal, and then the other one's pitched down an octave. So that sounds okay. Next thing I'm going to add is some compression. So make the attack all the way down. And let's see what we can do with this. I'm actually going to bring the gain down a little bit because it's already pretty hot. So that's pretty good. If I wanted even more bass, I could add something like this. Okay, so that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to print it out and see what we get. Okay, so there's one. Now what I'm going to do is for a second one, I'm just going to play around with the tempo marking up here. So if I open this up a little bit. So if I just play with it, it's going to really change the sound because the tempo is just going to be all over the place. So I'm just going to make it a bit random. Just try to change it as a bit every couple of seconds or so. Okay, and let's see what this sounds like. I'm just going to, again, print this out. Okay, so that's all right. I'm just going to move this out of the way, and we'll do it one more time. Maybe I'll try to switch some of these up a little bit like this. And let's try that again. Okay, so that's pretty good. So now we have like 3 different sets here, and maybe I'll just do one last one at, I don't know, let's do it fast one, like around there. So let's do one more. All right, awesome. So now we have 3 different like loops here that are kind of glitchy and they're already a bit bassy and hopefully a bit transient heavy. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to export these. I'll put them in a folder and then I'll come back and we'll create those impact sound effects. All right, so I've exported those 4 glitchy loops that we created. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to import them into a sampler. So my sampler choice is going to be Faceplant. So on Faceplant, it's awesome because you can actually layer multiple samplers together, and I'll show that a little later here. So first thing I'm going to do is I am just going to import a sound that I created. So this is one of the loops here, right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it more like an impact. So bring that all the way down, bring the decay up, maybe about a second. And now what's great about this is I can actually just scan through the file and find different sounds I can create. So I'm just going to increase the gain a little because it's a little low. And also what's great is now I can play across my keyboard and get different like variations of the sound. Just gotta add OTT on here. Let's see what I can get. So it's a bit long, so I'm gonna decrease the decay a bit. So those are cool. So these are okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to copy this over. So just press Control and then drag it down. And there you go. And now I'm going to add another loop in this one. And we'll do the exact same thing. So I'm just going to, actually maybe this one I'll make a bit longer than the first one. And then I'll scan through again. So there you go. I'm already getting like a really cool sound. So sometimes what I like to do is I'll send these to two separate lanes. And what I could do is something like, I'll add some transient here. That's how you can easily create these awesome sounds. So I am just going to print these out because I think they're really cool. So I'm just going to print that. And there you go. So now I have two really awesome sound. And now what's great about this method of doing this is that I can actually just go through now and just scan through the different files. So I can go here. And maybe this one too. Maybe add more transient. Or I can even just leave it on the end here because both of these lanes will go into this one. And I can further like add stuff to this. So maybe I'll do like here, let's add like an envelope down here. Let's make it really fast attack. Again, let's do that down. So basically the same kind of shape as our impact here, except this I'm going to attach to the pitch. So let's bring this down. Maybe I'll pitch this one down. I like that one. That's cool. Let's try some more here. Let's import some new ones. So I only have two here. Let's say we wanted another one. So let's do like, actually, you know what? Let's try even a third group. So I've never tried doing a third group. Let's try it just to see what we can get here. So I have three groups now. So I have one that's pitched down an octave. I'll try this one down 2 octaves. And let's just solo it. Let's send it to late 1. That's cool. Let's try this together. So you can get these cool impact sounds like this. It's so much fun. So I might just print that one out. All right, and that's pretty much it. So this is one way that I like to create these bass impact sounds. They're super fun because you never run out of possibilities of what you can create. So this was only like, I only used 3 loops. I didn't end up using that 4th one that we created. And even with this, like you can just scan through all 3 files and come up with infinite variations, and then you can process them in here. So it's just like super powerful, and then you can just, it's super easy to create these awesome sounds. So anyways, hopefully you guys found that useful and valuable, and you now have an idea of how you can create your own sound effects like this. So anyways, I think that's it for this video. Like I said at the beginning, if you guys want to grab that free sound pack of these Bassy impact sounds, I'll put a link in the description for that for you guys. And if you guys have any questions or any other ideas for videos, let me know in the comments below. All right, I think that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.